You don't have to be perfect to hit a target. You just accept your wobble and you live with it, and you just squeeze the trigger or press it or pull it, whatever you want to call it. Everybody has their own term for it. But the whole thing is not to disturb what you're seeing and just let the gun fire. But that's hard. That's hard to overcome. You have to really want to. You have to really want to overcome. Another way of training that way. But we had a police officer on our range. He had a really bad flinch, and the more we shot, the worse he got. And I've had this happen too. I call it shooting yourself stupid. You go out on a long practice session, you get really rough. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. You get really snappy on the trigger. So I brought him around the berm. I said, man, load you up a couple of magazines. Come back here with me. And we got on the back of the berm. And I said, okay, get your pistol up eye level. And he brought it up. I said, okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't see anything. Pull the trigger. And he shot. And he never flinched with his eyes closed. And the first time we ever felt the trigger pull. He got the credit, and he looked at me and said, you know, that's the first time I've ever felt the trigger. I said, that's because you had so much intent of having that sight perfectly in line, and you cared nothing about the trigger, and you were just slapping it because you thought you had to be perfect. So when your vision turned off, he actually could feel the trigger, and he got back in cycle, and he came back on the range and had a good day. So I don't know if you've ever shot with your eyes closed. It gives you really good trigger technique, and it tells you a lot about who you are and what are you trying to achieve that day on the range. And I find myself when I'm doing high volume practice, sometimes I'll just get off in a corner and just close my eyes off and get back to reality and just prep the trigger and feel it actually move and creep along and shoot it. And then usually a couple of rounds like that, you know, bring your vision back into play, shoot again, close your vision off, feel it, come back in the moment. You'll never flinch with your eyes closed. Hardly anybody I've ever seen will flinch with their eyes closed. I know that sounds silly, but you don't have the coordination, the sight to the target. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just feeling the trigger, let the gun go off, let the gun go off, let the gun go off.
Yep. That's a